life lately.
Okay, it's me. Okay, right, I'm on it right now. I was just really wondering when this could be on it. Hi everyone, it's me, Andreia. Welcome to my 35th show. Yes, I've done 35 episodes so far on Beyond Her Dream, on Beyond the Cover, on Dreamcatcher Radio. And today we're going to have a very, very special interview, which I've done with Kim and Carl. And the interview I'm going to play today, it's about the connection or correlation, if you guys like, between mental health and creativity, because there is one. And I think it's very important for all writers out there to know about who we are, how our brain works, and why we do the things we do. So guys, without any delays, this is my interview with Kim and Carl about creativity and mental health. It's me, Andreia. Welcome to my show Beyond the Cover. This is a special episode because I have for you with me for the first time in my show. You already may know them, which is Kim and Carl. And I thought to invite them to my show because there's definitely a connection between creativity and mental health as well. And I think it would be very interesting if we could discuss about that more in detail with professionals, mind you all. And I think we will learn from them as well. And for those who are listening to us and are artists, writers, I think we could try to implement some stuff in our lives as well. So Kim and Carl, welcome to my show.
Well,
yes. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so it's good to be interviewed ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, really, really nice. And we're really happy to come onto your show, actually, Andreia. Thank you.
So, okay, so I think I will start we're going to start some questions. Mm-hmm. So it will be how anxiety might make someone create more urgently or freeze them completely, do you think?
Well, we know anxiety is very common.
Yes.
For starters, I think it's about 1 in 6 people, so it's quite
in the UK, 1 in 6 people at any given time are suffering from anxiety or depression, or sometimes both.
Yeah, so I suppose that means then that these kind of creative responses around anxiety aren't rare. That in fact, they're very, usual.
Yeah, very.
Because we're just human.
Yeah.
This is the trouble. We kind of forget that we're human, and every individual goes through some kind of anxiety, some fear, some panic, even a bit of depression.
Yeah.
And that's very kind of immobilizes creativity in some way.
Yes, it can. Yeah. It creates like an urgency, like if I don't get this out of the way, I'll explode, or I need to do this right now kind of thing. And that can show, like me, I'm being frantic while I'm saying it, but it can show up as frantic. It can show up in people's writing and the way they kind of get up in the middle of the night and do things. I mean, we've all done it, I'm sure. And, sometimes painting, my cousin's an artist, and, she goes and she gets really creative sometimes and just goes and locks herself away, and it's really interesting. And actually people can't see, but it's the picture behind my head is one of my cousin's paintings. She paints with her hands. And they're fab. They're absolutely brilliant. It's massive. They're massive paintings. So, and also it can show up in, like overworking, overthinking, that kind of rapid problem solving thing, or compulsive kind of acts as well.
So we always look from a perspective of what the brain's doing
Yeah.
to create the anxiety about whether you have the energy to create or you don't have the energy to be creative. And so the brain can be on high alert in protection mode, like kind of freeze, shut down, your creativity will disappear. It's not because your talent's gone.
No.
It's because your safety's gone.
Yeah. And it's I'm
sorry, stopping you.
Yeah,
It's
no.
interesting when you're making it now, because when you say all safety is gone, it's a very interesting point to do, because definitely it feels like that.
Yeah.
Because I think when I'm creating as well, I think it's probably burn out a little bit as well, or some people get imposter syndrome as well when they are writing and being creative. So it might be that way to feel a little bit of out of a comfort zone. Definitely could be that.
Yeah. And even like Kim said, the picture behind us is Kim's cousin, and she has a lot of anxiety and imposter syndrome when she first started. Like, who's going to like my work? Who's going to buy it? Can I put myself out on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram? Because if people don't know you're out there, you're not going to be found. So there's that fear of anxiety of even for the creative person to be seen.
Yeah. And now she's doing really well. Yeah.
Yes, I think that needs to be seen and be recognized. I believe that makes us as artists to see, I want something to show to the world, but how much I'm going to be recognized and seen, I think starts to play with everything around in our brain. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's almost the intention, kind of, why do you do it? You're doing it for your own kind of what's the word?
Exploratory. It's almost like
what's the word? Expression. That's the word.
Creative expression.
Yeah, it's your own expression, isn't it? But I suppose it's making it into something, and kind of what am I turning that into? And that can almost be like a double-edged sword, because people can have anxiety but find that when they're creative, it takes them away from that, because it's calming the nervous system. They're being mindful and using that in that way. But also when it becomes more like a job or something, then that can create anxiety, because of course then they're worried because they need to get an income from it, and what if I have a block, and it can kind of have like a bit of a circle. But when you are able to take that anxiety away from it and shift it, that's when you get the transformation and you're able to actually do more.
Nice way of answering that.
Oh, I tell you what, sometimes
No. I was thinking that as well. Honestly, it was so well done. I mean, when you talked about in a way for people not professionally, but the way to do it just for the sake of doing it, I thought about this calling book specifically for therapeutic therapy, for example, all these therapy artistic ways for people to do it as well.
Yeah, but creativity is therapy to a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah. Journaling.
Most human beings don't actually live in the present. They're either running away from something or running towards something. But they use their creativity to try and fit in that middle. It's kind of I'm doing my writing or music, or I'm painting to recognize that I'm running away from something in my past, or made me feel bad, or there's the anxiety and the panic and the fear about something in the future
that might happen
or
might not.
So it creates this wonderful creative bubble that you could use. But it's kind of
that's why we always say just do you and live in the moment, because that is the only thing that's real is now. So you can't do anything about the past and you can't do anything about the future. You just have to live in the now.
I think that's a very good advice we're giving just right now.
That's it. We can end the show.
Yes, exactly.
It's recognising your own capacity, isn't it?
Yep.
What you can handle in that moment. And if you can't be creative in that moment, then don't put all that pressure on you going, I need to finish this painting this week, or I need to finish this song, or if you're a creative chef, do you know what I mean? It's everything's creativity.
Yeah,
it's true. I think many people consider nowadays not just art, creativity, but other stuff as well. I imagine, yes, that a chef creates a very, let's say, beautiful in a sense, like a plate of food, and they can be creative as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the creativity first, he has to probably picture it of how he wants it to look. So our thoughts are the orchestra of our results.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah, so
thoughts
another
become
question
your
I've-
actions, become your reality.
True. It's true. It's very true. You're telling all the truth. Absolutely. So
Andrea's taking notes.
no, I'm not taking notes, but at least trying to, because that's going to be a very good episode, not just for this listening, but also for me as well.
Yeah, for all of us.
All of us,
Yeah.
Yeah, for all of us as well. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
So regarding on the, and I think right now is a great part to absolutely stop here the interview. It's going to continue. Don't worry. So let's just play our first gothic band for this week, and it's going to be German. All is going to play German, so I'm just going to apologize, but I'm just going to say the website, you guys can see the translation. And the German dark wave gothic industrial band I'm going to introduce today is pronounced, I'm hoping I'm doing it right, Das Hish, and goes with the title God's Toad. And the title God's Toad means God. That's, and by the way, this band was formed into 1989. So I almost forgot to read it. So the title means God's death. So to see a good translation, seek this website, which is lyricstranslate.com. You should find with with this band and the translation. I'm going to read a part of the translation of the song, but then again, go to lyricstranslate.com to see the full translation. And it goes like this. Pain is breathing throughout my head. All swollen, my eyesight is rotting away. My heart is smoldering away to white nothingness. And yet it will come to pass. So with fun ado, guys, Das Hish, that's Toad.
Gott ist tot! Gott ist tot! Gott ist tot! Gott ist tot! Schwarz verbreitet sich in meinem Kopf, ganz aufgequollen
And this was, and I've noticed that we've got the German listeners. So, hi, how are you doing, Germany? So, I hope I'm pronouncing the German correctly. I studied German, by the way, when I was in secondary school. I said Germany. And my first band, when I listened in Germany, was actually Rammstein. So, for those out there, yes, I listened to Rammstein, and I still do. So, the band is called was just playing right now was Das Hisch, God's Tod. And I hope you guys will, in a sense, enjoy it, even if you're not understanding what they're saying or what the music was about. I tried to find out what the music was about, but I just couldn't. I think it was a little bit impossible. So, in a way, I hope you guys enjoyed, at least for the instrument, for the artistic view of the singer. So, at least that. So now let's continue the interview that I did with Kim and Carl about the correlation or connection between creativity and mental health. That when people don't feel they don't have a professional to do it, just for the sake of doing it. My next question will be a little bit why art becomes. Do you guys think that art becomes darker during difficult periods and whatever that's helpful or harmful?
Well, dark, first of all, is a perception. So dark art isn't a problem. Unpressed darkness is.
Yeah,
Unsuppressed darkness is. So darkness is not a problem. It's what that person's perception of it is.
Yes.
And the perception of it is made up. So how do they know it's darkness? To another person, that could be lightness.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So that's very careful, knowing what kind of language that people are using on themselves. Because there has to be a left and a right, an up and a down, an in and an out. So with darkness, there has to be light.
Yeah, the yin and the yang. Yeah, it's true.
So it's how we creating that darkness. So periods of emotional distress are almost when people are most likely to turn to creativity.
And if that's their way of expressing it, then that's actually a positive, because they're getting it out. They're expressing how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Be it whatever that emotion is. So
a good example is like when my son passed away. All I'd done was listen to depressing, kind of dark, griefy kind of music, upsetting music. But that's what I needed in that moment, because it's like, a song about tears and loss and grief and all that. And then now 2 years on, I'm listening to music that's more kind of life is a gift. So I've gone from the dark into the light, into the yin and the yang.
But then I suggested you do the garden. And he started doing the garden, and he created the most beautiful garden, and with flowers, and he's continued with that. He cuts the grass with a pair of scissors, by the way, and he just like, that's, you put that in your energy into the garden, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's understanding that during those hard periods, people create from where they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not where they wish they were. So
yes,
it's been in the present, being in the now. So whether it's dark art or darker thinking or dark humour or dark storytelling or dark expression, it doesn't matter in that moment. That's where you are in that time. But it doesn't mean you have to stay there.
No.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think. Do you guys, not just a question aside, but I think it is connected with this as well. Do you think, because maybe some people cannot, let's say, go to a therapist or a psychologist to get that help they needed, do you think they use the heart as well to try, I don't want to say to compensate, but like not a substitute, because I don't think it's the correct word, but like to help them while they still cannot?
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mine was listening to music and being creative and designing a new garden. So I called it. My son's name is James, so I called it in the garden. I've got a corner for James. So I created and designed this. So I had to be creative in my darkness.
Yeah, definitely. And many years ago, I had ME. And during that time, I found it very hard to do anything. But for some reason, I was able to make cakes. And I made the most amazing cakes, beautiful cakes, and they tasted amazing. Because I was 100% focused on that cake. During that time, I could stand up and I could make the cakes. Every other time, I literally had to sit down with every step for like 10, 15 minutes, even just with 1 or 2 steps. So it just shows you that because I was doing, I had an outlet serving me. It worked. So I do.
Yeah, I think it becomes dangerous or harmful only when the person is trapped in that expression.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of, without movement, they're forever endlessly reliving it.
Yeah.
They wake up and they live in their dark, and they wake up and they live in the dark. And what happens is the brain works on what we call predictions. So the brain then goes, well, I know what you're going to do Monday. You're going to wake up and feeling dark and depressed and angry and anxious. Okay, but do we do this on a Tuesday? Yes. So then by Friday, the brain's learnt to behave that way. So it predicts what's going to happen the next week, next month, next year. And then people wonder why 5 years later, they're still in that same dark place.
Yeah, because they're saying to themselves, I must keep returning to this wound to be authentic in this pain kind of thing, instead of kind of taking what the good from it and saying, I made this thing. People might see it as dark or whatever, but I can move on and I can breathe and I can carry on. So it's perception and realizing that it's not about being pulled back into something that is not really real, because they're here where they are now.
Yeah.
Sorry, we get really deep, Andreia. Sorry.
No. Please, guys, please go deep. This is what the show today is about. Is going to deep, to explain, to writers out there realize our brain works, because I think professionals like you guys, we need you. I think we need you.
Oh.
This is why I'm inviting you to my show. To explain how our brain works, what can happen sometimes, and how can we do to perhaps in a certain part of our life to also carry on and see the light. As today. So please go deep, because it's what makes these discussions interesting.
Yeah.
For me personally, it makes it interesting, and also helps me as well.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Please do not be fair. So I think another question could be asked is how. And I think, speaking of mental health, the next metal band song is precisely that. So, as you guys know, I talk once in my shows how metal music, despite its aggressive, can be, very straightforward. In this case, uses some kind of metaphors, and I think it's a very interesting one. So, the group is Like Moths to Flames, and the song is Over the Garden Wall. So this is an American metalcore band formed in 2010. So the phrase like a moth to a flame is a metaphorical expression used to describe someone's strong attraction or irresistible drawn towards something, often despite the potential dangers or negative consequences associated with it. Seeing how I told you this is going to be a little bit related, we're talking on my question about the dark places, how mind plays, so there you go. So it alludes to the behavior of moths, which are famously drawn to the light of flames, even though it often leads to their demise. In human terms, it suggests being irresistibly drawn to something that may be harmful or destructive, despite knowing the risks involved. On Over the Garden Wall, Rotter explores an internal dialogue of depression and suicide, leaning into visuals of vines and mold withering. So again, guys, this is a music. It can help you to in your life, but please, always reach out for help. Do not be scared. Do not be afraid. And yes, at the beginning, it seems, oh my God, what that person is going to listen to me, is going to think of me. It's going to be, it's going to be for the best of you. We all need at certain times of our lives, we need to go to someone that can listen to us and help us go through. while perhaps in time listening to this kind of music will help us, also going to therapy, it will also will help us as well. So always reach out some help. And the lyric is, because it's going to be screams around, I'm going to read some part of the lyrics, and it goes to: through the cracks in the wall, I watch the black mold grow. Nothing will stop the spread. The ground starts to tremble below. Drenched in thoughts too unnerving, tighten the grip around my neck. Pain involved, I finally forget. So guys, Over the Garden Wall, by Like Moths to Flames. And guys, this was Like Moths to Flame, Over the Garden. I really hope at least you feel empowered and to feel something is helping you. Yes, this is metal, this is aggressive, but this is what the music wants to show. That perhaps you need to face what you need right now. And in this case, it's dialogue of depression, expressive leaning to visuals of blah, blah, blah. So, regardless, yes, just I'm really hoping this at least help you. And please, guys, always reach out for help, because definitely in your life you will need, and artists always need. So let's continue the interview, because I am absolutely loving the interview I did. And I think knowing the connection and correlation between creativity and artists with mental health is really important. Because let's face it, writers or sculptors, painters, or even architects, whatever, sometimes we just don't know how to take care of ourselves. Let's be honest. I don't know sometimes. I think I do, but sometimes I don't. So professionals like Kim and Carl to tell us what we can try to do to help our lives, I think is a great and fantastic to know. So guys, let's keep listening to the interview. Certain parts of our life to also carry on and see the light.
Yeah,
today. So please go deep, because it's what makes these discussions interesting.
Yeah.
For me personally, it makes it interesting, and also helps me as well.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Please do not be fair. So I think another question could be asked is how chronic pain changes not just when somebody creates, but how they create as well. Do you think?
Yeah, that's a bit like we just said about your fibromyalgia and the kind of chronic fatigue.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know me with the stat. So about 1 in 5 people, again in the UK, live with chronic pain. And I'm just going to give you another stat on there, which is something that because obviously I'm a nutritional therapist, so I see a lot of people with chronic illness, and it's over 70% of people with chronic illness have had some form of trauma. So it's interesting because it's almost like the trauma can cause the chronic illness, which can cause, you know, your mental capacity to be impacted because of the issues, the pain, the constricting, the whatever that you can't do and things like that, which can then impact your creativity in either way. 1 can make you more creative, or 2 can make you think, I just can't do anything. And then you feel like almost like a failure. So it's that kind of, everlasting loop that goes round and round. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but
I know a great story that could relate to pain. I knew someone that was a writer, and they had a stroke to the point that they couldn't use their hands to write. So in that moment, remember the previous question, he was in his dark space. This is my living. How am I going to write if I've had a stroke? But through the light and the transformation and believing in his creativity, along came technology where he can verbally say it and it will print it out for him. So the pain of not being able to write, suddenly if you become creative, you can discover and find a way through your pain, and there is another avenue. So he was able to write his books, but just verbally say it to the computer, and then he would print the words out. Yeah,
it's definitely not the end game. It's, it might change the things.
Yeah, there's just the shift difference.
But it's kind of, you use your creativity. It's what we do. It's survival, and if the brain, if you thinks that that's what you need to do, you will find a way to do it. Our own will make us do that.
Yeah.
So I just about how we perceive ourselves, I think.
Yeah, pain is actually, the brain doesn't know what pain is. So that's another beautiful thing. It kind of reshapes and processes and paces and creates an identity around it. I damaged my ankle many years ago, and I was told by consultants, you're never going to be able to walk again. Well, my attitude is, well, just you bloody watch me. Because I could have believed their story. The kind of white coat syndrome, where they're a doctor, so they must know what they're talking about. And they was on about amputating my leg below the knee. Never happened. And a few months later, I actually climbed Mount Snowdon to prove a point.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And my left leg, I still get pain, and my left calf muscles wasted away. So there's a physical evidence of weakness in my leg. But I think mind power and learning to control your brain makes a huge difference to a human being.
Yeah, definitely. I think probably one of the biggest things that I learned when I met Carl, having had many years of various, anxiety, depression, ME, all, various bits and pieces, and going through years of therapy, was when Carl, it was like an absolute light bulb moment, Andrea, when Carl said to me, you can only have one emotion at a time and you can choose it. Well, that for me was transformation. It's changed my life. And
yeah, you can't think of a happy thought and a sad thought at the same time. The brain can't do it. So which one do you prefer to choose?
Well, that is a point here. You have to choose him.
Because when you think of the sad thoughts, obviously you're going to create all of those stressor chemicals, all the adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol. But when you think of the happy thoughts, you think of the oxytocin, the other ones. What are the other two? GABA and serotonin.
The feel love chemicals.
Exactly. So, they're the ones that, when you've been to the gym or you've been for a walk or been for a run or, not me, I don't run, but you know what I mean. All of that, you want those feelings, you want those emotions, so you can choose.
Yeah, your brain will either create pain or peace.
Peace all the way.
Peace all the way. Well, peace all the way now.
Yeah, peace all the way for me.
Yeah. So another question that I would like to ask is why creative blocks often coincide with mental health struggles?
Well, I think we kind of touched on this a little bit.
I suppose it's again when someone is struggling mentally, the brain just prioritizes survival over kind of exploration or being creative in any form, because it requires uncertainty, it requires risk, it requires you to be open, and these are the first things that the human system kind of gets rid of when it doesn't feel safe.
Yeah, because so hang on, where does the creative part of the brain? Where's that?
It's the right hemisphere.
Yeah, but in terms of, because obviously I'm thinking, because when we say about trauma sits in the part of the brain that is the emotional part of the brain, and always overrides logic, which is the prefrontal cortex. So that's going to go offline because your body's feeling threatened. So it's doing what it needs to do. It's not broken. It's basically feeling threatened. So it needs to kind of
the prefrontal cortex comes online more because the creative side and the imagination. So imagination is hypnosis.
Yes. So it is the thinking part. Yes.
Yeah.
So where I was going was that if you're having a creative block, probably the best thing to do is to do some, breathing exercises, yoga, whatever it is to calm your nervous system down. Because then when you do start to do the creative side, whatever it is you want to do, you're bringing that prefrontal cortex online, which is your thinking, your logic. So it will then allow you to kind of take it away from there. Do you know what I mean? It's hard because I know how the brain works, so I'm trying not to overcomplicate it, but I'm thinking this is just me logically thinking it through, and just, do you see where I'm going?
Yes, but every human being has mental health.
We all have mental health, good, bad, all over the place.
Oh, yes. No, yes, this is more likely, for example, because I come across many people that ask me, or asked me in the past, on time I'm feeling stuck, which is creative block, is creative people, they can't proceed with what they are doing. And so they ask me, what would you advise me to do? And I told them many times, look, this depends on who you are and what works for you. Because at the end of the day, what works for people.
Yeah.
So, but if they really stuck, probably it's best to pause and to write nothing for a while.
Go for a walk, get out, change your environment.
Because if you wake up every day and you start focusing on your blocks, the brain then sees that as the prediction of what you want to do each and every day. So that's why you kind of wake up and go, oh yeah, I still feel blocked today. Well, it's because you felt blocked yesterday, and what are you doing differently than what you done yesterday? Are you thinking and feeling the same way? Yes. Well, the brain is then going to predict that you're going to do that again on Tuesday or Wednesday. So you have to do something different. You have to force yourself. You have to teach the brain. Most people do not run their brain; they allow their brain to run them.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
And that's why they wake up and do exactly the same thing on a Tuesday, and wake up and do the same thing on a Wednesday, a Thursday, and Friday, and get to the end of the week and look back and go, "Oh, I've actually done nothing different." It's a bit like Groundhog Day. You wake up and do exactly the same thing every day.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
it's about bringing yourself back to safety, because obviously the emotional part of the brain is overriding, and that's why they're having a block. So it's not feeling safe. So do the things that bring you back to safety, be it, visit somebody, spend time in nature, go for a walk with your dog, borrow a friend's dog, go and stroke a dog or cat or whatever, things like that. Nurture, this is why people say, look after yourself, self-love, because when you do that, you feel safe and you can feel that trust in yourself, and then that allows that emotional part to calm down, and then you can then focus on what you need to focus on.
Yes, when you mentioned right now about nature, I remember one of your episodes that you guys talked about touching nature, the tree or being in the grass to calm the nerves. I really remember that. And I think it was a very good advice. Yes, definitely. Because I think nature is this natural, I think almost healing factor that I think we are losing, I believe.
It's people science. It's science, actually. It's not a woo-woo thing. So
and a lot of people nowadays, we've got the iPad, we've got the iPhone, we've got a laptop. Very rare do people actually go outside very often in a week.
No.
And be in nature, because this is our new way of being. And so this comes back to that brain again. If you understand that the brain just works in predictions all the time. So if you wake up and just sit on your laptop all day and then go and scroll on your phone for 3 hours every evening, you've not actually done anything different to the brain. So that becomes your dopamine fix. So actually, when you don't scroll for 3 hours, you start getting a bit panicky. You might eat a load of crappy food in the evening, or you won't go and do your art or be creative because your brain's getting its fix from fun scrolling for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I can at least say from my experience that I don't really like very much to use cell phones. Not because they are useful. They are useful, but mostly I use them just to contact people, to talk with my mom, for example, or meeting, for example. That's pretty much what goes through with my cell phone. Because for me, while I am on my creative environment, I like to be silent. I like to be focused. And that for me is a distraction. And I don't really like that to be on, for me personally.
Yeah, and that's that perception, is it? Because some people, we watch a guy on TikTok who's very creative. I think he draws butterflies and bits and pieces for people that
Con art. He's amazing. Yeah, he does.
He's live on TikTok, so he has that kind of connection with everybody, but he's drawing away. So he's been very creative in his art in the present. So he's very in the now because he's live on TikTok.
Yeah,
that's really good. That's cool.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
And he goes live, I think, like from 10 till 10.
Oh wow!
Pretty much all day, and his wife, brings in his meals and things like that. And he's there for anybody who has a grief or what the lost loved one, and he colours in a butterfly, or a feather for people. And it's beautiful, and he plays a song for you and everything. It's really, really lovely, and that's what he does every day.
And then when he's created the image, I think he sells it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he puts it charity. He auctions it and then gives the money to charity or something like that. But yeah, he doesn't do anything for anything that's good, but it's just because that's his outlet. He said he just feels like that's his calling to do that. But he does it live but I suppose even by doing it live, he's still focusing and he's using that time. Yeah. So he's blocking everything else out because he's focusing on that then. So
it's amazing.
It's amazing, really amazing.
It's so interesting that you guys are talking about that artist, because it's so. I think for me, as I am I can consider myself now as a writer because I write every single day except one day, because I allow myself to be at least to rest, because I've learned that as well.
Yeah, good. Just as important. As well.
So it's fascinating that a part of us, we want to be focused, isolated in a way so we can expose ourselves and put our creative out. but then we also need that part to be out, to get out, and to, I guess, to not feel completely alone. Now that you mentioned that, because he is online, he's reaching out to other people, I think it's a little bit of a
And
observation.
most creative people, individual, artists and writers, that they are alone, aren't they? If you're into music, you may be in a band, so you're not alone. You're a group, aren't you? So creativity is very much what's going on inside that brain again. Because I was saying that if you can't be on your own, you're in really bad company.
Oh yeah, because the people have to accept themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, because they'd be talking rubbish to themselves, or they'd be building themselves up. Either way.
Yeah, it's true.
No, it's true. So another question, and I think right now is a good way to pause because it's been a while they talk, but I think it's fantastic. All the good to details, and how we've got so much about us writers, in a sense artists, because we are artists. And for now, we're going to do our second Gothic band, which is called Via Flash, and the music is Midnight. So this is a Chile Gothic music project on the cold wave and synth pop form in February 2017. So the songs move between dark atmospheres and full of depth and sensuality. So guys, enjoy Via Flash Midnight. And that was Via Flash, Midnight. I hope you guys enjoyed and just really danced with heart as well song. Just to say a little bit about what I discussed prior with Kim and Carl. When he says that we artists feel more alone than musicians, in my opinion, I think it's a part of truth. But once you reach out to other writers, they give you feedback and build a community, it becomes less lonely. So my advice as a writer is, if you know a group, let's say in Discord or other part of the internet, or even local, who knows, locally, if you know they have a group of writers next to you, so reach them out and build a community there for you to not feel completely alone, and receive feedback, and then work on your own the piece. And let's continue the interview with Kim and Carl about the correlation, connection of creativity and mental health. Be as well how creativity identity swifts when health challenges alter someone's capacity, you think?
Okay, this is kind of, I suppose this is kind of similar to what we were saying before with people, you know, with long-term health conditions, how that can, because it's more, I suppose a lot of the time it's the pain, isn't it, that can take you away from what you want to do, and that your physical capacity and mental capacity to be able to be creative or do what you want to do. And then also what that does is, because they can't do that, they then feel they've lost themselves.
Yeah, and that goes nicely with the guy I said, my friend who was a writer.
Yes.
He lost his identity. When he had a stroke, he lost his identity. But, you know, I'm not a writer anymore. I can't make a living doing what I've done for the last 30 years.
How can I express myself? How can I be who I am? How can I show the world who is me, who I was before, but suddenly I don't have that ability. So I don't have the ability or the capacity to be able to do any of that.
And from losing his identity, it'd be like when I'm losing my ability to fund my lifestyle, my living.
Yeah.
How do I pay my mortgage? How do I feed the family?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And do you know, I've got another stat on that, sorry, is that it's over 15 million people just in the UK that actually suffer with long-term illness.
That's a lot.
15 million.
15 million.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people.
No, it definitely is a lot, yes.
Yeah.
It's scary for fun. That's the amount. And I can imagine also the people that come to you guys as well. They come to you for help and to ask. I can imagine.
People come to us generally as a last resort, Andreia. Normally they've been to counselling. They'll try kind of, you know, like your traditional retreats or something, or they'll try life coaching, they'll try counselling, they'll try psychotherapy, they'll try, you know, they'll go to their GP, they'll try medication, they'll try all these other things. And once, if they get to the point where they've tried everything, then they come to us.
Yeah, last resort, yes.
Yeah, we generally are.
Because
sometimes we're not. Sometimes people find us straight away and say, I haven't tried anything else, but I liked the sound of what you do and I want to come and work with you. And they do. But generally, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody that's done all of that. And then they come to us and then say, my gosh, I wish I'd have come 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years earlier.
Yes, it really is. Yes, I mean, yeah, people, yeah, situations is probably it's going to be situational for somebody, or the wish. Yes, because when people can find the help that they need, I imagine it's a long journey.
They think it doesn't have to be, but I think people think it has to be. It's people's perception, because you don't know what you don't know. And, you know, for years I had therapy because I didn't know. I hadn't met Carl. I didn't know some of the things that he did, some of the things he's introduced me in, so that I then trained, and then we've created our own thing here. So now I know. I was like, oh my gosh, if you'd have told me like 20 years ago that you could do this, I would have paid any amount of money for that. Instead of going through all those years of suffering and not knowing, thinking that I had it forever, I thought there was something wrong with me. But to realize that it wasn't, that you don't have to have it forever. It's not right to think that you've got it forever. Oh my gosh. It was amazing. It was a life-changing. Brilliant. So, yeah, I mean, I can only speak from my own experience. And obviously we see people here every week. But, you know, when I speak, I'm speaking from my heart, from my own experience. So.
Yeah, people are different, definitely, yes. So since you guys are also a group that, what you do with people as well, in your perspective, how can our organizations best creatively engage people with the lived experience of mental health problems, do you think?
How our organisations create? It is through that lived experience.
Yeah, that's important.
Because when you understand, you might look at a piece of art or read a song or read a book, and when you read that, there'll be certain chapters that will just grab your imagination and you enter that world. And that one moment you might go to yourself, other people do think and feel the way I do.
So you straight away get like a connection with them.
And that suddenly will reduce isolation. It can increase maybe a purpose. Oh, this chapter in this book said, oh, my life was so bad, but then something happened and it shifted my perception, I transformed, and then I went on to do something amazing. And the people would look at that and they go, if this person can do it, then maybe that's an opportunity that shows me that I can do it.
It gives them hope.
Gives them hope. And then they may go off and create an organisation that starts up like an art therapy or Facebook group where you join a book club, for example. And you all go along and you meet once a week at the library or the village hall, and you take a book home, you have to read that book, and you come back and discuss that book the following week. But everyone would take from that book a different perception of what the stories are in the book.
No, that is true. You're telling is true. I'm on a book club, and for us it's 1 month. First we read one book 1 month, and then we have to discuss the book and then bring our perspective if we like it, if we don't, and if we like it and don't, why. So we'll bring all of these different opinions.
Yeah. So again, whether it's organisation or whether it's a book club, it's realising you're not on your own.
No.
You're creating isolation.
Yeah.
Because from isolation can create, serious mental health issues.
It can.
Yeah. You can start talking to yourself, I've got no friends, nobody loves me, I'm not worthy, I'm not, no one's going to read my books if I write a book, no one's going to look at my art if I draw. And it suddenly becomes this negative belief structure.
Do you know what? I have changed my perception about something that I always felt. Because I had all these issues in the past, and like I said, I had the ME and blah, blah, blah. And I've been to therapists for years, and so many people used to say to me, my gosh, you should write a book. Just because I've lived in lots of countries, I've had children, lots of different things have happened. Anyway, and people used to say to me, you should write a book. And I was like, no, why? Who would want to read my story, And then, other people used to say, you should share what what's happened to you and bits and pieces. And I used to think, no, why? And then I used to get irritated. I literally would get irritated if I saw people on Facebook or wherever talking about the fact that they had mental health and this, that and the other. I'd think, oh, stop. And I always used to say, I am not going to do that because I might be an expert in being that person, but I'm not an expert in mental health. So don't talk to me about that. However, I have changed my perception and my way of thinking about it because I've realised the importance of that connection, of that lived experience, and why people do gravitate to you. So the best thing I did was to learn about it and step into that space. And now from what we do, but also from a nutritional perspective, I am learning more and more about how to support the brain long term, all the chronic illnesses that form around the brain and all of that, because I realise that people do look to me bizarrely, when I think why, how, but if they do, I should take it upon myself to then be able to give them the right information. So that's where
Yeah.
why I've changed my whole thoughts around it, and I love it now.
Oh yeah, oh no, I know, I can imagine. I mean, with your journey, when they reach out to you, you're probably were not well. Probably at the time you're not feeling comfortable, but like how should I express this? Probably the time you are not in the present. Maybe I guess is
Yeah,
the
we're
right way.
very much in the present because we understand that we're very comfortable in other
Yeah.
people's discomfort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
So if we have a discovery call, people crying their eyes out and all that, we just accept them because that's where they are at that moment. And that's what the human beings want to do. They want to be met as equals with something to offer. So many human beings in the world don't think they have anything to offer anybody. But you can go and sit in a cafe and talk to the person next to you and their life story would be amazing. It'd be so creative.
Yeah.
It'll be in a book on its own.
Yeah, whether that's through art, conversation, thinking, or just simply being next to that person in the cafe over here, you know, being nosy, over here in their conversation. So transformation, we're all about transformation. We're not about therapy, we're about transformation. That happens when the participants feel like they belong.
Yeah. And feel safe.
And feel safe and able to express.
Yeah.
Just my next question is, and yes, my question will be for the air for now. And the next, let's say, post-rock, metal probably band, is called God is an Astronaut. Yes, it's the title. And the song is Luminous Waves. The only information I've got from these guys, because again, this music is completely instrumental, there's no vocals. It is an Irish post-rock duo formed in 2002. So guys, enjoy. Enjoyed God is an Astronaut, Luminous Waves. And guys, that was God is an Astronaut, Luminous Waves. I hope you guys enjoyed the melody. Pretty much it was a melody. And now, we're just carrying on with my show. Remember that today we are listening my interview with Kim and Carl about the correlation or connection with creativity and mental health. So let's keep just listening. Oh yeah, oh no, I can imagine. I mean, with your journey, when they reach out to you, you're probably we're not well. Probably at the time you're not feeling comfortable, but like how to express this. Probably the time you are not in the present. Maybe I guess it's
we're very much in the present because we understand that we're very comfortable in other people's discomfort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
So if we have a discovery call, people crying their eyes out and all that, we just accept them because that's where they are at that moment. And that's what the human beings want to do. They want to be met as equals with something to offer. So many human beings in the world don't think they have anything to offer anybody. But you can go and sit in the cafe and talk to the person next to you and their life story would be amazing. It'd be so creative.
Yeah.
It'll be another book on its own.
Yeah, whether that's through art, conversation, thinking, or just simply being next to that person in the cafe over here, being nosy, over here in their conversation. So transformation, we're all about transformation. We're not about therapy, we're about transformation. That happens when the participants feel like they belong.
Yeah. And feel safe.
And feel safe and able to express.
Yeah.
Just my next question is, it's just more what you said, Kim, which is more like, also Carl as well, for both of you. Nothing to do with art, but I think can connect some way. Do you guys think that nowadays people are more open to talk about mental illness, or still very not shy, but like repressed to talk about
Reserved about it, yeah.
I still think there's a huge, big hole regarding mental health.
Yeah.
We have all these wonderful mental health Thursday, trauma informed, all these Facebook groups and everything like that. But then if that's the case, why are people taking their own life? Still the high goes up every year.
Yep.
So that proves there must be an avenue somewhere where people don't feel safe to talk, but they rather go and unalive themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's in the environment. So you could, I think when people do feel safe, so they find a platform or a space where they feel they can talk, brilliant, so they do. But I think it's where they don't feel. So, for instance, at work, people might not open up because they feel that they'd be judged or they might lose their job over it. So, of course, when you've got that anxiety, it comes back to that whole creative thing again. It's like a circle. It's like a vicious circle. I want to be creative like I am at work or in any way, but I'm panicking because I'm feeling like this, and then that's going to affect my work, and then I'm not going to get any money, and then I can't be creative, and and it just goes round and round and round. So, yeah, I think people, and I think especially men, and it is. I mean, it's bad with both men and women, and a lot of women who are going through perimenopause and menopause, the hormones change. That never used to get talked about. That's getting talked about a lot more now, which is good. But we've got so much further to go, and especially for men and young men as well.
Oh yes, what's happening right now? It's terrifying for both sides.
Yeah, I think we are where we are, and it's quite sad when you think we have all this wonderful technology now, where people are able to talk, and yet they still don't, because the fear factor, and fear, emotional part of the brain will always overwin logic.
Yeah.
I want to talk, but I can't, and the can't would be the self-talk that the person does to themselves. If I tell someone I feel bad, that suddenly puts me in a different spotlight.
Yeah, and then they might tell them, and then they might tell them, and once I've said it, then it's out there.
And many people may judge or think that's not a proper place to talk about it as well. So I think there's also different things involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So another question will be as well, how can arts organizations work effectively with NHS organizations, do you think?
I don't really work with the NHS other than many years ago I worked for an adult service with learning disabilities. I was the company group therapist, and we used to have an art therapist come in, and they would sit with the clients and they would say, right, draw me a picture of someone that feels sad, or draw me a picture of someone who feels happy. And I saw that as quite very beneficial to people with learning disabilities in that arena. So I can only talk from my perception and what I've experienced and seen. And they loved that. And it was fantastic to watch, all the different drawings that we pin up on the wall with blue tack and after the session. And every picture will be different and express a different emotion.
Yeah. And it's funny because going back to your very first question about darkness, I'd imagine that somebody might look at those and go, they're dark, but it might have just been what they wanted to put on that page. And there may not have been anything dark to do with it. It might have just been the first colour they picked up and they decided to work on it, or, so it's interesting. It's like you say, it's perception, isn't it?
And in children's services, they use a lot of art therapy and play therapy and the creative side of things, because that is human engagement, which is really important. It's emotionally accessible. With a child with mental health issues that's going for therapy, they may play with a sandpit, or play with Play-Doh, or do drawing. So that's emotionally accessible for the individual. It's pretty cultural safety. We have many different cultures in this country. So it's good. I do think the NHS does recognise the role of creativity, because they do use it.
Yeah, yeah. We're just not involved in that, are we? But
there's music therapy, another great one. Music therapy is fantastic.
Yeah. And they use that a lot with more like people in care homes with Alzheimer's, because again, that people, they found that when they play music, they remember the songs, because it's a different part of the brain. So they remember the songs, they can sing along to them and everything, but they can't recognise their own.
I remember that. One of my first jobs many years ago, I worked in a large residential service for dementia and Alzheimer's. And like Kim said, they couldn't even remember the face of their children coming to visit them. But as soon as you put on the song like "We'll Meet Again," every old person in the dining hall was singing that song.
They knew it.
Oh, that's
because they remember the song and the music and the emotion attached to it. So that's why we've done that kind of music therapy.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting there, all these old people waving their hands in the hair and singing this song.
It's lovely. My friend, she's Kim. She sings, and her mum's in a care home for with Alzheimer's, and she goes, or dementia, and she goes along and she sings with them there, and they all love it. And the same thing, they all know the words.
Yeah.
She gets them up dancing and everything, and it's great. So
even people on stroke wards, again, they do music therapy, they do art therapy, they do play therapy to try and teach the brain, bringing in the creativity side.
So there you have it. A lot of connection with creativity and mental health.
Yeah. You're absolutely right when you reached out about this, Andreia. I think it was a really good it was a good topic. Yeah, good connection.
Yeah, because I think there's not at least in my part, I don't think people do not discuss very much this connection, because there's a lot of connection. As we're being just talk right now, there's a lot of connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think people really need to realize what's happening in their brains, what they're trying to create something. And they think, oh, okay, I can do this, or okay, I cannot do this, but because in the situation, I need to pause, I need to relax right now.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can't because I'm not in the mood to do it.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah. I think we need to tell us that it's okay.
It's
Being
okay.
kind to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Be kind to yourself. It's very difficult still.
I know it is difficult. I mean, yeah, I'm a bit of a nightmare. Yesterday I decided that I was going to do a puzzle. Well, I've got a puzzle on the go. I love doing puzzles. And I got up and went and did some of the puzzle, and I did it for about maybe 2.5 hours, but I felt really guilty about sitting and doing a puzzle. But actually that was my way of relaxing and resting for the, in the afternoon. So I didn't need to feel guilty for it, but I just did. I get it.
I think it's part of the brain saying that we still need to do stuff. We need to be active, I think.
I know, but why? Don't stop.
I think that's the problem. Don't stop. And I think it's. Do you guys not understand? Just a question related to this. And I will stop right now because I think it's a very, very good way, because we're going to discuss it about why our brain tells us you need to keep going, you need to keep, don't stop, Andreia, remember this story, remember this, etc., etc. Yes, brain, but I need to break, I need to be silent, I need this moment of silence and also rest. And with this, let's listen to our third Gothic song. It is the Nosferatu, and the song is Lucy is Red. So it is a UK Gothic band formed in 1988. It's a very long time, but they are very important because, according to the information I found on the internet, the band is known for its contribution to the Gothic rock genre. So guys, let's listen. The Nosferatu, Lucy is Red. And that was it. Nosferatu. Well, it was 1988, so it's been quite a while, but is this old band is still, some are still going, still are just past the time, but the music it's still among those who listen to them. So that was Nosferatu, Lucy is Red. And now we're going to reach to end to the interview and also the time, but are still very minutes left. So let's keep listening. My interview with Kim and Carl about the correlation, connection of creativity and mental health. This now. Do you think our society has programmers to think that way? We need to be active all the time. When the rest is just for a short period of time. Do you think?
100%.
Yeah, conditioning, society conditioning.
Yeah. You know, you have to work the 9 to 5 and work extra hours. If you work extra hours, you seem to be doing a good job or a better job or whatever. But no, you can still effectively do your job in, you know, whatever hours you need to do it. It's for some reason people think if they work long hours that they're a good worker or whatever. But, and I'm not saying they're not a good worker, but it shouldn't have to be that way. You know, they shouldn't have to feel that way.
I think there was one of my friend that she told me. I think, but I'm not entirely sure if it's true or not. You guys can tell me. I think we humans work better if we just work 4 hours, at least, and then after that we can do other stuff.
Yes.
Because excessive can live. I think this stuff of stress, anxiety, depression, burnouts, etc.
Absolutely, and it's our. I'm afraid it's our Western culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know we go to a certain school. We might be a Christian school, a Catholic school, or whatever school. So you're raised in that society. You watch your parents work hard, and this becomes your hypnosis. This becomes your identity. Like, it wasn't even, you didn't even choose your own name, for God's sake. It was given to you. So most of us role model our society.
Yeah.
If you grew up in a Christian country, you're more likely to be Christian because that was your society, and you celebrate Christmas and you celebrate death, or you don't celebrate death because you would do it a certain way, and you see death as a misery. But to some cultures, death is a given and it's a gift, so they celebrate death. So yeah, everything's related to where you grew up, your cultural beliefs, your identity, and how you see yourself within that society. Validation.
Yes, validation.
Yeah.
And then I think it becomes very difficult when we try to just distance ourselves from that belief, to try to find what really works for us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're almost going against your own beliefs. So it's kind of, like you say, stepping away and going, hang on, is that what, do I really believe? Don't be afraid to question. I think never be afraid to question something. Just because it's done all the time, it doesn't mean that it's right.
Yeah. I think people should question more.
We should.
Things that happen.
Yeah. We should. Definitely.
So now returning back to the artists and connection with mental health, we'll have these beautiful discussions apart, but I think it's part of it as well. Brings to the spontaneously as well.
Yeah.
So it is, why do you think artists struggle with mental health when they are having difficulties to live as a full-time artist, do you think?
Oh, full-time artist. That's a bit like your cousin with her drawings here, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
And the drawings that Kim's cousin does are absolutely amazing. She spends hours on them, and from that comes the kind of the juggling with it, the identity. I'm a wife, I'm a mum, I'm an artist. What kind of income can I get from this? Again, the validation of who's going to buy my work. I've put in 50 hours into this piece of art. Who's going to buy it?
Yeah, is anyone going to think it's good? Or, are they going to want to spend money on it? Or how much do I put? What's the price tag? Who do I go to? It's just all that uncertainty, you
that
know,
all comes all at once.
everything, and then juggling being a mum. I mean, she's got 2 boys who are really active, you know, so it's running around looking after them, and you know, she's got a husband who works. He's got a high-powered job, so you know, there's so much keeping the home, you know, all of that on its own. Let alone being an artist on top of that, with all those kind of identity and things that we were talking about. They are, yeah. I think I can see why it would be hard to be an artist. Really hard. People think, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because
you're an artist, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's as easy as people think. I think it'll be pretty strong.
no, it's not easy because I watched a video actually with our manager, the little Steve, which was talking about our society hates artists and still does. And one of the topics that the YouTuber touched was about, I think, because the society is on the monetary side. So basically, it's this capitalism coming. The art has to be profitable, and because of that, some artists struggle. And I think there's some connection there as well.
Yeah.
And because the artists usually they don't receive the money they should, it's mostly
Yeah.
for the big companies. I think there comes as well that struggle, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
The difficulty to.
I don't know the stat on this, believe it or not, but I'd imagine that the percentage of artists and any artist, you know, not necessarily painter or whatever, any type of artist, I'd imagine the percentage who actually can make a career of it and it bring them a good income is very low. It's very low, you know. I mean, you get the ones that we know about, the famous ones or whatever, but a lot of artists, thinking painters and things, have become famous after they've died.
Yes.
So they didn't even benefit from knowing that people appreciated their work.
No.
But I also think, again, it comes to that perception of identity, imposter syndrome of who's going to like my music, or who's going to read my book, or who's going to look at my art. Because, again, they wake up and they worry about being judged. But they don't focus on the people that would read the book, would listen to their music, would buy their art. So do you think Robbie Williams or Elton John really gives a toss about people that doesn't listen to their music?
I imagine not.
No, I doubt very
anymore.
much. I doubt very much, because they focus on the people that are paying hundreds of pounds or £200 to go and see them. So I'm sure Robbie Williams doesn't really stress about anxiety and panic and thinking, am I going to fill London Stadium or am I going to fill the local pub down the road? It's still going to be the same songs and the same music, but his vision of himself is greater than the internal fear. You know, if you watch the Elton John film, it's great because it shows you how he was judged. Oh, this album's going to do a load of rubbish. You can't put those songs out, and he's like, rubbish, because I'm focused on the people that are going to listen to this music. And now he's one of the most successful, richest, singers.
That's an interesting topic you are just bringing it out, Carl, because what I talked about just right now, the big companies, is because they're trying to do what sells more. And because of that, some artists are stuck in that. I need to do this because it sells more at this time, because the next year can be something else.
Yeah. And this
I think it's one of the conditions as well that we need to be careful as well.
But that's the fear-based reality kicking in, because we're in the world of social media where people can go and set up their own YouTube channel of their own music or their own storytelling and have 1 million followers. And then suddenly charge those 1 million followers. Okay, I'm going to release my new single next week or my new book, and I'm only going to release it for 99p. The big organisations can't compete with that. But if you've got 1 million followers and 500,000 of them buy your book at 99p, that's all of a suddenly half. It's a lot of money. And this is what these big organisations are aware of. They want to create a fear in the artist to say, "You need us." Well, sorry, I watch TikTok sometimes, and there's a bloke just sitting there chatting about reading a book, and he's had 1 million likes. And he's sitting in his bedroom, not even on TV.
Yeah, that also reminds me as well. Now, the speaking of the writing is about my show about writing and literature. How many writers are just going to the self-publishing
Yeah.
because all this stuff that you just said,
Yeah.
creating the fear to be them stuck at the you need us. But maybe we should also control how things go as well
Give it a go.
as a writer.
Andrea, can I ask you a question? Have you
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Have you
And I will leave you by surprise what Kim is going to ask me. And for that, again, we're going to listen another German band. Yeah, that's right. I think your Germans this week is for you because I started with the Gothic German band Das Ich Gottstot. And now we're going to do a metal German band this time. It's called, and the name is hilarious, We Butter the Bread with Butter. I'm not joking, the band is called like this. And the music is called Hof. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing wrongly Germans, but this is how I'm trying. So, as I said, it's a German metalcore band noted for the heavy use of electronic music characteristics. And the group was founded in 2007. There you go. And so the title, the Huff, means in English, turn it up. And I think this song is just about making loud noise and just make your neighbors happy. I'm just going to read the translation of the song for you guys to have an idea. It goes like, boy, turn it up. Make it loud. The neighbors want it. Until the speaker smokes, just let it out. So guys, enjoy. We butter the bread with butter. Go off. And guys, this was let me see here. Yes, We butter the bread with butter half. Only because we'll at least enjoy and just, just vibing, because I get the feeling, right? This is just my just a little bit of a thought for myself, that you Germans have a certain, sense of humor. I mean, this title of a band, We Butter the Bread with Butter, it sounds so, I mean, I mean, it has to have some kind of a humor in it. And another band I introduced many weeks ago was actually Electric Cowboy, with the Elevator Operator, which is in a fantastic band as well, and I really enjoyed the song, and I really hope you guys see it as well, which is another German band as well. And I think it's just, you guys have such a great humor, and then you come up with this stuff, and then people just enjoy and vibe with it. So, Germans out there, artists or writers are listening to me. Keep it up. Be creative. Be bold. Be yourself, because the society needs you. And now let's see, for my interview with Kim and Carl, the connection between mental health and creativity. What was Kim wanted to ask me, because I stopped at then my interview, and we're going to have some minutes to left, but let's see. Yeah, let's see.
Have you published
go
any
ahead,
books? Have you been publishing
not
your
yet.
writings? No.
Not yet, no. What I'm working at the moment are two projects. One is a book series, which takes on the cosmic being's perspective. However, the theme is about accept their shadow of their part of themselves, so they can be full enlightened. Because without their shadow, they're just going to be stuck forever in their one day go.
Yeah.
They are at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think it is a very interesting theme about self-acceptance, but also facing the parts that they are, some are hiding and some are suppressing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff here we can work on. Another project is like more a radio drama, so for people to listen to my radio. And again, this I work more on the fantasy genre. So this is centers more on modern times, but still fantasy.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
amazing. Can't wait to hear them.
Yes,
Hear and read.
yes, but no, yeah. At the moment, my series I'm on the editing phase at the moment.
Okay.
I haven't published nothing yet, but I intend to.
Yeah, brilliant. Look forward to that.
Thank you so much. I think I have other questions here, but I think we've touched already what you guys just said. So I think there's no point of trying to coming back to them. But I'll just would like to say anything else you would like to say to us artists from a perspective of professionals.
Yes. Oh,
I want to say, don't be afraid to be who you are and express yourself. Because when I always used to say to my children when they said, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I always used to say to them, do something you love. Because if you do something you love, you'll do it well.
and there's another great saying. I can't remember his name now. I don't know if it'll come to me, but it's a great saying that says, there's so many unfinished books and songs in the graveyard.
In the graveyard, it's true.
That people,
That's a brilliant quote.
yeah, because people have this ambition or this wish. Oh, I wish I wrote a book, or I wish I wrote a song, or I wish I'd done a drawing, and they didn't do it, but they took it to the graveyard with them.
Yeah.
Because they were too scared to do it.
Oh, do you know what? That's just actually reminded me. I know we're ending, but that's made me remember that I actually have a book. It's a recipe book of here at the Manse, all the recipes, because people will say, oh, can you give me the recipe? Can you give me? So I just created, it's only a little kind of, ebook. And it's just sat there and I haven't done anything with it. And all the recipes are in it. I've done it. It's created. I just need to do something with it. So, so I think I'm going to be inspired now, and I'm going to write that on my list.
And the only thing we've kind of missed out is journaling.
Yeah.
For your mental health.
Oh, journaling.
Journaling, it was very, very creative. Write down each week or each evening when you go to bed, what did I learn about myself today?
Yeah, reflect.
Not worry about all the crap what you didn't do, but what did I learn about myself today?
Yeah.
What did I do different today that I didn't do yesterday?
Yeah. That's what we try and do we've got a school channel, and it's like an app, and it's like a community, and it's free for people to come in. But we only set it up a little while ago. But what we're trying to do is just that, is focus on the positives, focus on the good things, and keep people moving forward as opposed to kind of retreating and pulling back. It's looking at what have I achieved for me? What have I done for other people? What's one good thing I can, be grateful for?
Gratitude.
All of that. That's what we're all about here. We just, we don't get us wrong. We all have moments. We're human, but the good thing is it's knowing these things so you can pull yourself out of it and say, hang on a minute, what am I doing? Why am I thinking that way? And whenever you do, and like Carl says, your thoughts become your actions, become your reality, and
results, yeah.
and become your results. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm rubbish and I'm not going to do it, then that is what you'll get, because your brain thinks in predictions. So if you think, I've got this, I'm going to do it, we're doing it, I'm doing it, it's happening, blah, then that is what happens.
Yeah, so so I just want to thank you guys so much for coming to my show. It was really a pleasure talking with you, with professionals,
It's
to
nice to
learn
be
up more
interviewed.
about the artistic brain, how it works, and how we can do as well for ourselves, to be kind to ourselves and to help ourselves. Before we had the conversation, would you like to just tell to those listening where can they find you?
Sure. So
You go on and you do it on the radio.
So you can email us on kimandcarl@dreamcatcherradio.co.uk. That's KIMANDCARL. Is Carl with the C. Everybody spells it with a K, I think, because I'm a K. And we are at the Manse Retreat. The Manse, MANSE Retreat. And you can just Google it and we're there. That's us.
And it's the same all over TikTok and Instagram and Facebook.
We're the Manse. We're the Manse on everything. So, yeah. But thank you so much. It's been really lovely chatting with you and having the opportunity to actually meet you properly, Andreia, and have this discussion.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes,
really,
well,
really good.
yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Did you learn anything?
Oh, yes. No, I've learned. Yes, I've learned. Yes.
Good.
No, I've
Amazing.
Good.
Yeah, amazing.
No,
That's good.
Yes. I think this conversation is really, again, really, really important. That's why I invited you guys to my show.
Yeah.
For the people who are writers like me, can understand themselves and now strive not to do other things and strive to put themselves off there with more confidence and more, how should I say this, with a positive mindset.
Yeah, because like I said, your thoughts become your actions, become your results. So if you wake up thinking, imposter syndrome, no one's going to read my book, I'm not very creative today, well, guess what your actions are going to be? And then at the end of the day, guess what your result's going to be? I've not done any writing, I've not created a song, I've not done any painting.
So you can choose when you wake up in the morning, am I going to think in that loop, or am I going to change it and go, actually, today is the day. I'm going to get up, go out for a walk, come back and just crack on. So,
And there you,
yeah.
and there you have, guys. This is Kim and Carl talking about creativity and mental health and the connection. I hope you guys enjoyed and see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's pretty much it. The interview went with Kim and Carl about mental health and the connection with creativity as well. I think they really made really great points. And we artists really need to just, sometimes we have, as they said, we have those days that are difficult, that are harsh. But I think we need to be kind to ourselves and say, I can do this. Even with low energy, I can do this. I can, try to do something. Even it doesn't need to be your art. It can be something else. It can be a simple thing like, for example, cooking, or go out and just sit for a moment and just listen to the birds, maybe, I don't know, something. Or reach out to a friend or a family and say, hi, how are you doing? Because yes, it's very important we keep our creative rolling and we keep working on our creativity. But I think it's also important to balance the other side. So I think we have to pause and let your brain rest and say to your brain, it's okay, nothing's going to happen if I don't stop right now. It's okay, I'll be fine, we'll be fine. We're going to treat ourselves. And for example, if you need to go to watch the cinema, go for it. Just treat yourself. Just be kind to yourself. And for today, just some minutes left, I'm going to just you guys to listen to our last Gothic band, which is Roster Cross 1335. So this is a very interesting one because it's a French Gothic band. I don't think I could find where they were. Let me see, I might be wrong. Let me see here on the internet, because this is really, really a beautiful thing. I think I completely forgot about it. Let me see. I forgot to write down. Oh no, I really can't. Oh, I think they were formed in 1984. So there you go. They are very, very old, but still crocodile, and still people really, really like to listen to them. So, and yes, the song is 1335, and usually the song involves dark, ritualistic themes, and in the song is the vibe the band wants to aiming for. So it seems like the music is referring to the apocalyptic warning. So 135 is a reference to the book of Daniel 12:12. I hope you guys Bible knows what I'm going to be talking about. So it goes like, blessed is he waits and comes to the 1335 days. So honestly, I don't know, but for those who do, bless, good. And because the artist is going to speak on Latin and French, yes, both languages, I'm going to translate because it's definitely going to be just what I'm going to say. So it is, I will not lose my soul to the wicked, nor my life to those bloodthirsty men. Once again, the enemy threatens and rages. If you do not resist, civilization called Christian will perish. From this, he understood that they were going to die. So, in a way, there he is. Risotto Cross 1335.
Di perdas cum impis animam meamet cum filis sanguinum vitam meam rosus minax salvit ultor ni resistas perit cultor Christiani.
And this was Rosette across 1335. I hope you guys really enjoyed, and I was really vibing with the song, mostly for the singer's voice and also the bells on the back. I think it gives such atmosphere with the bells. And yes, my show is coming to an end, and honestly, I think this review was very interesting, listening from the professionals that know how our brain works and what we could do to improve our lives. I really want to thank again Kim and Carl to accepting my invitation and to allow me